Let's have a look at how to use Plugshare. So today I'm going to go through how to use Plugshare. Now, a couple of points to make. Firstly, it is not a legal requirement to use Plugshare, but it is a nice thing to do. It's a respect thing. Now, I'll put a link to a video that I did about Plugshare and how it really pees me off. But I think it's important that A, we know how to use Plugshare, and B, that we do try and use it. The reason behind that is at the moment, we've got a scarcity of chargers and an excess of EVs trying to use them. So the number of times I get to a charging point to see a car plugged in, which it's entitled to do, but I've got no idea whether they're due back in 30 seconds or 3 hours. And there are some a-holes around that will park for 6 hours at a free charger and bugger off to work or home so they get a full charge. I mean, that is just an abuse of a free system. So, the other thing I want to say is this. Plugshare is not trying to track you. There was a comment recently on one of my local charging stations. Somebody put up a comment about, can you be respectful and thoughtful and check in so we know how quickly you're going to be back because that person needed a charge. Now, that's fine, but then somebody went and put a comment on there. It looks like they've deleted it now. That was along the lines of shopping centres are trying to track you and do all these sorts of conspiracy theory things. I mean, really, you've got to have rocks in your head to believe that. Just look at your smartphone. That tracks you. It knows where you are, when you are, and it knows when you're going to the loo even. I mean, just, think about things. If you don't want to be tracked, turn your mobile phone off and throw it away. But let's get back to Plugshare. So I'm going to use the my computer using a web browser to go into Plugshare because I think it just gives me a bit more screen real estate. It's very, very similar to what's on your app on your smartphone. First things first, we need to register. So we go up here to the right and we click on register. And then you can register with Google, Apple, or just type in your email address, which I'll do now. Then you click create account. Then it will send a verification code to your account, which you will need to go and have a look in your email and put that in. So here you stick in your verification code, or there is an email link that you can click just to verify your email, and then it's happy. So then you've got to fill out your details, your country and your postcode. And if you want to receive special offers from Plugshare, nah, thank you. So complete. Now it will want to know what I've got. So we can scroll down through here. I can pick mine, Tesla, Model Y, trim is standard range. So I can add that vehicle. All right, so that's the easy bit. Now, if you look up in the top left here, you can search for a charging location. So you might say, I need to know if there's a charging location in wherever, and type it in. But before that, you need to do the plugs and the networks. So you click on here, it says 5 plugs. Now, because I've got a Tesla, it automatically assumes that I will need a fast charger which is the supercharger, a CCS Type 2, a Type 2 Tesla, a Tesla charger, a Type 2 charger, and a 3-phase. Now, I do not have a 3-phase attachment, so I don't want that. So I click it and get rid of it. Now, also down here, it's got incompatible plugs. So if we click on that, CHAdeMO, well, yeah, CHAdeMO is not compatible. A J1772. Now, that is a Type 1 charger. If I've got an adapter, which I do, I can click that and it will then show me all the Type 1s. Caravan, Tesla Roadster, and so on. I don't need those. So I got rid of the 3-phase and I put in a Type 1 because I have a Type 1 to Type 2 adapter. So that is the plugs. And the other thing we have here is location filters. So if we click there, you can have show locations that require payment. So if you just want to be a cheapskate, you can click that off and it won't show you the ones that need payment. It'll just show you the ones that are free. Show in use locations. Well, it's useful to know if they are in use. And then if the person has checked in on Plugshare, you will be able to find out whether or not it's worth your while going there. Because if they're due out in 10 minutes and it's going to take you 12 minutes to get there, well, that's great. Restricted locations are places in places of employment, work, apartment buildings and so on that are very limited and limited access. So you might not be able to use them. Certainly with apartment buildings, they're usually in a locked car park, so you won't be able to get in there. Residential locations. Some people put their chargers out for freely available use, and that's, residents. Coming soon locations. So if you look here, there's a little spanner that may mean it's either coming soon. So if I click on it, it will tell us payment required. It's 40 cents on DC, 45 cents per kilowatt hour for AC, plus a $37 transaction fee. So that it means it's out of order. Here we go. Here's one coming soon. Elita. I don't know about this one. It's only going to have a J1772. So that's useful that I ticked that because I have got the adapter. If you don't want to know about those. And this one here is the supposed Mandra Tesla supercharger. Yeah, it's been delayed. It was supposed to be operational fairly early this year. It's looking like later on in the year. So that's fine. We'll get rid of those. So we've got networks. This is where you can go and decide which networks that you want to use. So I've got the ChargeFox app, so I've got that ticked. I've actually just ticked everything here. Explorer is a new one. EV Up, EV Networks, ChargeNet, ChargePoint, that's an old one. Tesla Supercharger, Tesla Destination Chargers. So it's a good idea to have all of those ticked. And while I'm going through this, please give me a helping hand. Click a like and subscribe button below. A sub to the channel is very much appreciated and it does help me. Thank you. Alrighty. Now, once you've set this up with your car, you can manage vehicles, you can add vehicles, you can delete vehicles and so on. You can then start looking for somewhere to go and charge. So let's say I am heading to a place called Byford, which is here. So I can zoom in. Now there's a charger here, which is McDonald's at Byford. If you click it, it comes up on the left. And this gives you the address, the payment required if necessary, parking if payment is required, how much, and what's around the area and its availability. So this one is available 24/7. It's 22 cents per kilowatt, which is quite a reasonably priced amount. And the good thing I like about this is no need to authenticate with that card. Just follow the stickered instructions. So this place has got 2 Schneider EV Link, 22 kilowatt. Bring your own cable. All right. So this is a type 2 socket. You need a type 2 to type 2 cable. A lot of them are BYO cable. And I think that getting a type 2 to type 2 cable that is capable of 22 kilowatts and is about 7 to 7.5 meters long is good idea, because if a couple of spots have been iced, you can still probably reach the charging port on your car to the charging port on the charger. This one, it says activate via the ChargeFox app. So no need to authenticate with that card, but you do need the ChargeFox app. Sorry, that does not make sense. So it's got a type 2. There are 4 plugs there because it's got 2 Schneider dual outlets. You'll only get 11 kilowatts on this, but that's fine. Then you see down here, people have left a check-in. All right, so I could leave a check-in or a comment. So Scotty looks like he successfully charged there about a month ago. Somebody else with a Model 3 couldn't charge. If you click on it, it'll come up with what they've written. Phone ChargeFox support, then remote resets, didn't fix. So the issue has been reported. Obviously, they've fixed it. And this is a common problem with a lot of bloody chargers, which is why having Plugshare to find out if they're working or not is good. This guy's got his EV6 and was getting 11 kilowatts. I wonder how he got 22 kilowatts. That's interesting. Down here, there are photos. So you can click on these and go, oh, look, that's how to use it. So there's some photos there. There's a photo of a Model 3 charging. This is its position. So you can see it's up in the top right of this car park here. There's 2 bays. Oh, look, an aerial view. So some people put in pictures. You're more than welcome to put in pictures. Now, the other nice thing is you get there and you go, oh, bugger, it's not working. But there, it comes up with nearby locations. Hungry Jack's. So that's actually this one here. McDonald's in Forestfield there. That's the McDonald's at Armadale. So there's a few places around Stockdale, Harris Centre, McDonald's at Southern River, which is there. That's the Harrisdale one. So we can go to Hungry Jack's at Byford and have a look. Free parking. And this has got 2 Tesla high-powered wall chargers. That's what HPWC stands for. They're obviously 3-phase because they can put out 22 kilowatts. But Model 3s and Ys on AC will only take 11 kilowatts. If you've got an older version Model S, you will get 22 kilowatts because they've got 2 11 kilowatt inverters on board. And that one looks like it's been getting a bit of use. So you can see who's been checking in here. And once again, some pictures. You can add a photo and take it. So once you've got there, on your app, you can then click on the check-in button. I'll show you that in a minute. So here we are in the app, and it looks very similar to what was on my computer screen before, but this is where you would be if you were checking in at a charging station. If we click on the Byford one, it comes up and shows us Hungry Jack's. You click on that, and you see down the bottom, it says check in. You can scroll up. It does have ads in it, unfortunately, and you can see that some people were there. And as you scroll up, you notice that that little check-in thing goes small or big. If you click check in, now you've got a few options here. You can click charging now. If there's a car's there, you can click waiting, or you click could not charge because it failed. You can leave a comment, or you can just leave a comment. So normally you would click charging now. If there's more than one type of charger, like a type 1 and a type 2, it will allow you to choose which one you're at. And I'll pick one of those in a minute. So you can make a comment. You can select there how long you're going to be there for. I prefer people not to be longer than 1 hour, 2 at the outside. I think 6 to 8 hours is just rorting the system. And there are a few people around where I live that do that. And there are many people around that are threatening them and so on. It's ridiculous. But these people are just abusing the system. They're selfish. So let's try and get away from that. Then you click submit. I'm not going to do that because I'm not there. But once you've clicked submit, the app will automatically log you out after you've been there for the allotted time. And you can see here, you can also make a comment. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get out. But let me just show you one. Now I know Baldivis. If I check in here, you see it's got a Tesla charger and a J1772. So if you check in charging now and the Tesla charger is taken and I've got an adapter, I can select the J1772 plug and then check in for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. It seems to default to 1 hour. So please do adjust that. If you're only going to be there for 15 minutes, select 15 minutes. If you're going to be there for 40, select an hour, because later on when you get back, you can click checkout. It'll come up with checkout. Now also from this screen, you can see that you can click there on the green plus just underneath your name. And you can check in. You can say, I couldn't charge, or you can leave a comment. So that's that one. Messaging in the app was not available for quite a while, but it has just come back in the last week. So the idea is that you can just pick a location, and somebody had checked in there, and Atto gal, well, she's just gone from Perth to Sydney and back. Well done, darling. I think that was brilliant. You see here, send a message. So you click on that, type in your message and click send. I'm not going to do it because I don't need to send her a message. Pick somewhere else. What's this? Millbrook Winery. Here we go. Wall outlet. Very obvious where this is. Can't miss it. Driving in, it's a 15 amp plug. Click on it. You can send them a message. And you can say, thanks for the instructions. Or if they're currently checked in, you can also say, how long are you going to be? Their phone will go beep, beep, and they can read the message and send a message back. There's one user where I live who frequently comes after I've started to charge, and sends me a message and says, "You're going to be much longer." And I usually run up and unplug so that they can charge. So I can send them back a message to say, "I'm a bit low on charge. Sorry, I'll be back in half an hour or an hour or whatever." And most of the time people are happy. So long as there's some communication and some respect, it's all very well and good. That's a very brief overview of Plugshare, registering, putting your car in, and checking in. As I said at the beginning, it's not a legal requirement to check in. It's just being considerate, polite, and respectful of other EV users. Because at the moment, as I said, we've got a dearth of chargers and an excess of EVs. Just where I am, there's at least a dozen Teslas. There's a couple of Mercedes EQ something or others. There's a couple of Atto 3s. There are some Outlander PHEVs that use the J1772 plug. So there's quite a few EVs. And if I go to my local shopping centre, it is not uncommon for it to be in use, at least the Tesla one. Yesterday, I think I was there, and there was another Tesla parked there, and I just used the 1772. 3 days ago, I was there. There was another Tesla there, and I used the 1772. Over the weekend, I was there. It was empty. Great. I plugged into the Tesla charger, and as I did that, an Atto 3 rolled up. Now, this Atto 3 driver had got a Type 1 adapter and the RFID card to use the Type 1 port. So he was quite happy. He just plugged his into the Type 1, which is actually probably the right thing to do for Atto 3 users, because he could use the Tesla charger if it was one of those that would charge anybody. But the Tesla chargers are capable at 3-phase of dishing out 11 kilowatts, and his Atto 3 is only capable of 7 kilowatts on AC. And the J1772s are only capable of 7 kilowatts. So it makes sense for Atto 3 people to use something that will only give 7 kilowatts and leave the 11 kilowatts to those other cars that are lucky enough to have that larger inverter on board. All right, there you have Plugshare. I hope you found that useful. Please make a comment below. I'm always reading the comments, and I do try to reply to some of them. And the other thing that I'd like you to do, click that like and subscribe button below, please. It really does help, especially a subscription. So thank you very much. I'll see you all very soon.